I am so excited for this video today because today it is all about the parents. This particular video is going to be about you and how you can help your child if you understand that they are in an unhealthy relationship or you see some warning signs and you need to talk to them about it or whatever that may be. So obviously I'm not a parent, so I don't exactly have all the answers for this particular video. So I've done some research, and the research that I am using today is from the One Love Foundation. They are all about warning signs and different things like that on unhealthy relationships. So all the tips that I'm sharing today are from them. I just felt it would be a good way to kind of get the parents who are watching these videos a little bit of insight as to how they can help their child. So number one is to be observant and look for signs. Unhealthy relationships are all about power and control. So if you see if your child is being overpowered by someone, or if they're saying, oh, so-and-so said that I need to go do this today, or whatever that may be, even the little things. If your child is being overpowered or controlled, that's definitely a warning sign for sure. If they're calling and texting them at all times of the hour or all times of the night, and they're just always trying to overpower, always trying to be, what are you doing? Where are you at? That type of thing, you know that your child is in an unhealthy relationship. 2, calmly start a conversation with your child. These can be pretty difficult. Personally, as the child in the situation, it was hard for me to talk about what was happening because I felt that I was not going to be understood, even though obviously your parents, you guys do understand, and most of the time you've been through these things and you know exactly what's happening and exactly what's going on, and you have the knowledge to know that this isn't good for you and you need to get out of the situation no matter how much you love the person or whatever it may be. Parents really know like what is happening. You think that they don't, but they do. So for parents out there, it's really hard to navigate those conversations because you feel like your child isn't going to trust you, or they're like, oh, you don't know anything, you don't understand. Those situations can be pretty hard. So the advice that they kind of give is being able to just kind of openly and peacefully talk about it. Don't force them to try to tell you anything. Just kind of let the space be open for them to really come to you and confide in you in those dark and deep situations. So number 3, be supportive of their situation. Listen to them and allow them to open up about the situation on their own terms. Don't try to force them into anything. What they don't want to talk about, they obviously don't want to talk about. And it's things that they will eventually talk to you about if you kind of give them that space to do so. Number 4, focus on the unhealthy behaviors. Instead of saying, oh, he's just not a good guy, kind of lay out the things that you've been seeing and the things that you've been noticing and help them kind of see from an outside perspective of what you're understanding and seeing from that situation. Because it's obviously, if you're in that situation, it's really hard to see past, oh, but he made me feel so great this day. We did so many wonderful things, and he was just so nice. And those different times can really overshadow the ones that are not so great. So helping them understand the different things that you've been seeing and kind of giving them a different perspective on the situation will help you talk about the unhealthy relationship. Keep the conversation friendly, not preachy. This can be hard, but you kind of have to you're a parent in the situation, but you also need to be sort of that friend that they can confide into. They will not talk to you, obviously, if you're going to be preachy and you're like, oh, it's not good for you. You need to do this, this, and this. That's not going to get you anywhere. From my experience, it's hard to navigate that because you know what's right and you know what should be done, but at the time, of course, your daughter or son thinks that they know everything and that they know what's right, but you just have to understand that you need to be more of a conversation that's friendly and more of just helping them kind of navigate the situation and make them feel that they're the ones making the decisions when you're kind of just helping them along and kind of giving them the steps to really make that courageous choice. don't place the blame on them. Help the young adult understand that the behaviors that they're experiencing are not normal and not their fault. So a lot of times, especially for me personally, I thought that a lot of the things that were happening to me, like in the relationship, was he honestly made me feel like most of everything was my fault. I wasn't spending enough time with him, or and that's why he went to go spend time with another girl. Stuff like that. That is not your fault. That is them being unfaithful to you. So parents, help them understand that it's not their fault that they're going through these things. They need to see that this person obviously doesn't care enough about them to be faithful to them or loyal to them, and you just really have to help them understand those things. 7, allow your child to make their own decision. That right there is the biggest thing. I think that your child will learn more from making the decision themselves and not being forced into making the decision, because if you try to force someone into it or force your child into it, it could make them feel like they can't talk to you or trust you. And it's something that at that point in time, they're not wanting to do. So they'll always kind of blame you for that, even though in the end, it's better off for them not to be in that situation, but it's easier and better for them to be able to make that decision on their own so they know that it was them who made the decision and not you forcing them into it. Number 6, offer solutions to them. Maybe there's different solutions that you have on how to be courageous and make that decision to leave, or whether it be helping them understand the situation. You could kind of offer different options. Like, let's say they don't really want to speak to you about a certain situation. Help them find the resources where they can talk to someone else. Local domestic violence centers or behavioral health centers. Talking to a school counselor or a teacher that they feel trusting in. Someone that they can talk to about the situation is the best way to go. Number 9. If they are in risk of any danger, call the police. I'm pretty sure you guys got that one down. Of course, if you know your child is being abused or anything along those lines, obviously you know that you have to take that action to call the police. This is from the Love Foundation. And then the last thing that I have is expect more conversations in the future. So the first time you've had the conversation with your child about the situation, they may admit a few things that happened and then suddenly pull away and take it back. So after you are out of that, or your child is out of the situation, still open up that conversation to kind of talk a little bit more about it. Help them really open up to those feelings so that you can help them understand that those things aren't good and those are the things that you shouldn't have in a relationship. That way, looking forward and moving forward, your child will know what to expect when they are in a healthy relationship and know if they are not, so they do not get further down and deeper into this relationship that they shouldn't be in. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that helped you out, parents. If you need more information, obviously the foundation that I was talking about today has lots of great tips. They have a lot of different explanations, even more farther into what I talked about today. So you are more than welcome to go and look at that if you need any more help. And I just kind of wanted to open this up to parents because I know I've been speaking directly to people that are technically in these relationships or maybe listening to these to get some helpful tips. But here's a helpful tip for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.